to tell you about all of this pain, but I feel like you wouldn't even care. I gon' put out the fire, I put out the flame. I feel like I'm smoking the bed. Can't wait on the fire, they look at me crazy, cause I got locks on my hair. The devil tried to me, shot still on my face, but I know my God, he was there. Oh yeah, you already know that's a bet. I'm with my brothers and they some rich Christians, so we finna hop in the jet. I'm thanking Jesus for all of these blessings, he taught me to run up a check. Out in the trenches, I go preach the gospel, they love us to show us respect. Watching it.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Hey, what's up? Hello, it is your girl Sensei, and I am back again with another rendition of our most famous show, the show that you love so much that you get all of your sports news from. That's right, none other than the Sports Senseis. And we have a jam-packed show for you today where we talk some NFL. We'll talk about all the suspensions that are going on, all the illegal issues that are going on. You know, the NFL always got some problems going on. And we're also going to talk about the NBA, of course. Dame Lillard, where is he going to end up? The Celtics are making all these trades. Does this mean they have a shot at Dame? As well as some WNBA stuff because, I mean, Breanna Stewart is just pretty much waking up every day dropping 40 on anybody. She feels like it. So without further ado, man, stay tuned, stay locked, stay where you're at, and tune into the best show that you've ever heard about and you've ever seen, the Sports Senseis. But before that, check out this really cool video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. We are back again with another episode of the greatest show on earth, if I do say so myself, the Sports Senseis, featuring your one and only Sensei, as well as my good sisters, Ruth the Truth and Jane Nicole. Ladies, how are we doing on this fine Thursday evening?
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. Excited to be here. I'm doing well. Blessed to be joined with two of the best doing in the biz right now for ASAP Network. Make sure to go download that ASAP Network app so you guys could watch all of our shows, and make sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to the ASAP Network on YouTube as well. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay connected with the ladies doing it in the game right now. How's everyone doing?
Yes, doing awesome. How about you, Jay? What's going on down there in good old Texas?
You know, everything's different.
She just got finished playing the piano for a little bit.
Yeah. basically in the background, you know, you gotta do it big, gotta do it big. But I'm excited to be here with you ladies. Another week of exciting, fun sports talk.
Absolutely. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show started. Now, I know there has been some NFL news and there's been a lot of shenanigans going on. Ruth the Truth brought this to my attention.
Shenanigans.
So I want to, Ruth the Truth, I'm going to go ahead and let you lead off and let people know what's going on, because the NFL is just, I know people call it the no fun league, but it really should be the drama league, because it's always the drama going on in the NFL. So Ruth the Truth, please inform the people of what's going on and let's discuss it.
All right, so there's been 9 suspensions in the NFL, 4 more that just transpired this past Thursday. 3 Indianapolis players, 2 of the players actually have just been waived from the Indianapolis due to the suspension. I'm going to speak of one specifically. Isaiah Rodgers has gotten real caught up, where they went through his sports betting account and he had over 100 bets placed last season. So it was suspended indefinitely and also waived by the Indianapolis Colts. And yeah, people are saying that it's affecting the integrity of the game. And Isaiah's excuse was he was pressured by his friends to be placing these sports bets. But I'm going to throw it to you, ladies. Is there any excuse for these players to really be getting caught up with these with illegal sports betting? Because it's plain and simple. The NFL has their rules. They have a whole set of rules that are pretty simple. There's 6 rules when it comes to sports betting in the NFL when you are a part of an organization. Number 1, do not bet on the NFL. Not that hard, right? Don't gamble at your team's facility while traveling on the road or staying at a team hotel. Rule number 3, don't have anyone place sports bets for you, because you will get caught up with that as well. These investigations are running deep. It also says for rule number 4, don't share any team inside information. So that I feel like should be highlighted, because I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to sports betting is these players have an advantage because they get that inside scoop. They talk amongst team from team, so they know what's going on. They know what players are going to be available. They know what moves are going to be made. So I think inside information helps them tremendously when it comes to sports betting. Rule number 5, don't enter a sports book during NFL playing season. So stay off the apps 100%. Don't even get yourself involved in any way. And then rule number 6 of the NFL when it comes to sports betting is don't play daily fantasy football. So yeah, I don't really think those 6 rules are that crazy. And I understand completely why the NFL has these rules in place, because as an NFL player, you do have that inside information and it does affect the integrity of the game. Now, Isaiah Rodgers got caught up real bad because one of the bets that he placed was actually on an Indianapolis Colts game over or under when it came to rushing yards, which obviously it was a $100 bet and he actually ended up, or no, I'm sorry, a $1,000 bet that he actually ended up winning. So NFL, Roger Goodell, they're putting down the hammer. They're saying no more. Now, we saw Calvin Ridley last season get suspended indefinitely and did not even rejoin the Atlanta Falcons. I believe he went on to sign with a different team and was reinstated in the NFL starting in March. So, ladies, what do you think? Does NFL sports betting for these players affect the integrity of the season?
Jay?
Yeah, no, of course it does. I don't understand. Look, let me even just say I briefly worked for the Houston Texans and we had to go through a training about betting for your team. So you're going to tell me the actual players? Yes, we did. I remember like they sit in, you watch the video, like, come on, right? So we had to go through. So you're telling me you big players who making millions of dollars can't just stick to these rules, especially can't stick to these rules in the season. I was watching some analysis about it, and it was kind of like, things were going on, and maybe the NFL trusted the teams to handle it within house. But you've seen how it's blown up. Now you're getting waived, and you're suspended for the whole season. And look, we have to put the hammer down. NFL's like, we not playing no games. We ain't leaving it up to your team to decide. Y'all out, y'all done. Like, don't bet. What's the thing? Really? Don't bet. Don't bet on the NFL. Sure as hell don't bet on your own team. Like, really? Right. We're living that dangerously now? We just feel so comfortable. We so big and bad that we just gonna bet on our own team. Like, yeah, let's just do it. It's season. What the heck? Why not? Hopefully we don't get caught. You're gonna risk your NFL career for $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, I don't know, dollars? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Y'all just stuck on stupid. So
so Isaiah's bets were between $25 to $50 was like the basic average of the bets that he was playing. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, $25? Like, aren't you making like hundreds of thousands? Like, what does $25 mean to you? Like, I think it kind of turns more into like an ego thing, maybe. I don't know. What do you think, Sensei?
Definitely. And kind of just to piggyback off of what Jay was saying, like, I work for the Sacramento Kings currently, and that is something that in orientation that they are, like she said, big screen video talking about do not bet. If we catch you betting, that's pretty much not only are we going to fire you, but they can fine us too. Like, it's not even just the players. Like, we can get fined and get in a lot of trouble for that, because that is considered to be illegal. So, like, if they're doing that for just for us, like, only imagine like what they're telling the NFL players. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's a very simple thing. Like, you're getting paid millions of dollars. We just got a couple of rules and regulations that you have to follow, and $1 million a year. I don't understand why these people can't follow basic instructions. Like, it's simple. Don't bet on anything, because you have, like, like you said, it's an advantage. It's illegal. Like, you're not supposed to do that. And I just don't. I mean, I don't feel bad for them at all, and I hope that they learned a valuable lesson, and they'd be lucky to be back on another team again, because no team wants to take that on. You know what I'm saying? As much as conversation has been about sports betting anyway, and then for it to be proven that the players are actually participating in it, like, yeah, it's a bad look, man.
And it hasn't just been players; it's been faculty as well that have been getting caught up with this situation. So it's a all around big problem when it comes to sports gambling for these NFL players. I mean, I'm sure in other leagues it's happening as well. Dylan had something crazy to say, or not crazy, but I attest to this, that Calvin Ridley has been signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think that's going to be a beautiful connection. Calvin Ridley with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Oof, that is one of the teams that I think are going to kind of have my eyes on throughout that NFL season. What do you ladies think about Calvin Ridley joining the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, I think that's going to be tough. Like you said, Ruth, I'm looking forward to that connection with Trevor Lawrence. I really like Trevor Lawrence. I've been very high on him since college. So I really want him to get the opportunity to, like, have a team around him to where that he can show his attributes and show what he's really great at, like, and show his strengths. Like, when he was at Clemson, like, when he had the offense of just a solid running back, and then he had solid receivers that he could rely on and he could throw the ball to and he could trust, like, we saw what he was able to do. Yeah. And I feel like if he's given that same opportunity in the NFL, he's going to be kind of like Joe Burrow. Like, you know how Joe, we were like, everybody was kind of iffy on him, but once he got like a squad around him, it was like, oh, they can make some moves. They can really do something. And I think the same situation is going to be with Trevor Lawrence, but definitely excited to see that connection. Hopefully it's a good one. I think Jacksonville is going to be one of those sleeper teams for this year that people are going to have to be on the lookout for. Because, I mean, they shook a lot of things up last year.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just a team that was barely scraping, like, right below the playoffs. So I think they have what it takes now to take that next leap to not only make the playoffs, but make some noise in the playoffs.
I'm still mad that they beat Dallas during the regular season. Oh, man. That game was so ridiculous. It went into overtime for no reason. They had first possession, and it was game over. It was one of those games where I sat there and was like, is Dak Prescott the answer? I don't know, because I don't even know how to explain that performance right there. But, yeah, Jacksonville is definitely on the up and up. Doug Peterson is doing phenomenal things with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, Dougie P, I got to give him some respect, even though he came from the Eagles, and that's trash. But, yeah, what about you, Jay Nicole? How you feel about Calvin Ridley joining the Jacksonville Jaguars? How do you think they're going to be next season? I think we're only, like, 75 days away
they're
from
only
the
better.
NFL season?
I mean, they just got better. You know, it was, wait, I'm trying to refresh my memory, go back all the way to NFL. It is the Chargers who were up by however many points and lost it in the right. It was like 34.
Yeah, I think they did.
They scored like only 3 points as like that. So, right, it was. I'm trying to like take myself back to the football mind. So now you just added a weapon with Ridley. I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit. You know, Jacksonville coming for y'all. So watch out. You know, we've been it's been up and down, but I think, you know, adding that weapon, like this NFL season, man, the AFC, like I'm just ready for it to get started. Like I can't wait to see what we're gonna see, because I know we're gonna see some things. So I'm just like, okay, come on, September, let's go September.
It's gonna be some really competitive football this year, and I'm very excited to see. Like, I feel like every matchup is gonna be like a do or die type situation game, because there's so many teams that got better. There's so many teams that are like were on the rise last year that obviously, you know what I'm saying, they've got the camaraderie and they've played together, got the experience now, got the team chemistry now. And then, you know, I mean, you know, all the highly touted rookies that are coming in, like, it's just going to be It's gonna be crazy. Like I'm excited. I can't wait for this NFL season. I think we're in for one of the most exciting NFL seasons this particular year.
And I want everyone to, I'm saying it right now that if Baker Mayfield is going to be the Tampa Bay Bucs starting quarterback, I think that we can at least win 8 to 9 games. And this whole talk on social media, let me finish, of the Bucs going 0-17 is just outrageous. Okay. I understand that last year was like a hiccup. Tom Brady was on his way out. We only won 9 games, yada, yada, yada. Okay. I get that. But defensively, we got better, and defense was really lacking last season. So I feel like if the defense can hold these teams to less than 18 points a game, I think Baker can score at least 3 TDs, or, just give it to Rashod White. Just give him the rock the whole entire time. Whatever.
Ruth,
okay, I'm done.
I love you, Ruth. I love you, sis. And I love the fact that you are so optimistic about your boy Baker Mayfield. I love it. Like, the confidence that you have in him is wonderful. However, the reality of it is,
the reality.
We talked about this before, I believe. I don't see 0-17 is crazy to me. Like, anybody that's saying the Bucs are gonna go 0-17 is out of their mind. Like,
that's why I stay off Twitter. I'm just like, I can't hear this nonsense.
Baker's bad, but he ain't that bad. He ain't 0-17 bad. Now, 8 or 9 games is a stretch. That's a push. Like, I can see 6 or 7. I'm not sure 8 or 9. But again, we'll see. But that's a tough division to come out of, man. Like, you got to think they got to play the Saints twice.
I'm really excited to see Derek Carr in a Saints uniform, and we get to play them twice. So
yeah, I'm saying you got to see the Saints. So, like, that's gonna be tough. But yeah, I don't know who said 0-17. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was going around on Twitter, and it just kind of like, I'm not, and I'll tell everyone out there who might be watching the show for the first time. Appreciate that you're here. Blow up the comments. You guys are great. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan at heart, but the stadium is right behind me, and I do media coverage for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I don't want to see it. It's such a miserable feeling walking to a locker room after a game and none of the players want to talk because they lost. I don't want to go through another season of just that up and down emotion. So, and the Bucs they just don't take it well when they lose, because they just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. So they still kind of want to keep that kind of momentum going. So so just for the record, Dallas Cowboys fan all day. But living in Tampa, covering Tampa, I want to see them have some success, but we shall see. Do you guys want to transition out of the NFL now?
Yes, we can. Let's go ahead and transition out of the NFL right into some NBA drama, because that is my favorite, and that's all of our favorites. The NBA has been on fire this offseason with the trades, as well as the draft picks, and just all kinds of shenanigans have been running amok in the NBA. But the most recent at the top of everybody's mind is Dame Lillard finally didn't request a trade after we've been begging him to request a trade for years now. He finally listened to us and stopped being so stubborn. Thank you, Dame. However, where is he going to end up? We are hearing reports that he wants to go to Miami, and that is it. That is all. Don't ask him nothing else. But then there's also other reports saying that the Celtics are making all these trades, moving all these pieces to have an opportunity to take a shot at Dame also end as well. So I will propose the question like so. I'm going to start with Jay. Jay, what do you think is the best fit for Dame? Would it be Miami? Would it be Boston? Or should he try to push himself to go somewhere west? And just for an extra little bonus question, there was also reports that he wanted to go to the Warriors.
I know. I saw that too. I'm like, what?
Before they got Chris Paul, he was trying to.
Ooh.
Because I think he's from the Bay Area.
He's from Oakland. Well, Brookfield, but it's like right outside of Oakland.
Yeah.
So essentially the Bay Area.
He's from Oakland. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jay, what do you think about all of these things surrounding Dame?
That disgusts me. That Warriors. Glad that didn't happen.
Yes, thank God, because I would have quit. I would have quit the NBA.
Hey, you never know.
The Warriors thing
you
didn't
never
happen.
know.
That would have absolutely.
They might ship CP3 right on out of there.
Hopefully, it still don't happen. Absolutely.
No, seriously.
That absolutely disgusts me. It would be like when KD went to the Warriors. Not as bad as when KD went to the Warriors, but still, it just would just absolutely disgust me.
It would be up there.
Look, there was just reports today that his agent came out and said, "Look, other teams, Dame really wants to go to Miami. So shot so hard or try like to. We trying to get the man to Miami. But as we know, this is a business, and the Trailblazers need to do what's best for them. Yeah, Dame, we hear you. You want to go to Miami, but is that the best bang for our buck? You still have 4 years left on your contract, right? And we could really put you wherever we want to. We don't have to play nice with you, right? Even though he's been good and he's been loyal. I keep going back to the whispers of Boston, right? Dame in Boston. And then it's like, hey, we get we bring him in with Tatum's lobbying for him, but like it's been said, he absolutely does not want to go to Boston. The fans, the people. But one thing you will say about Dame is he's a baller. Even if he does get traded somewhere where he doesn't want to be, I still think he's going to show up, bring his A game, and ball out. I don't think he'll, be so restless that he'll sit out or quit on the team like we saw James Harden do in Houston. Like, I think, he'll still do what he does. But I would love to see him in Miami. I said this last week. I think him, Jimmy Buckets, you know what I mean? Like, Bam, I just see that trio right there really working, really gelling together. Yeah, let's get rid of Tyler Hero. Hey, we got to get rid of Duncan Robinson, however many undrafted dudes that, you know what I mean? Whatever. That will make them a contender for sure, the best in the East, looking to go all the way, right? I want to see Dame get where he wants to go because he was so loyal to the Trailblazers, right? He's been loyal. He's been there. He tried to stick it out. Y'all didn't put no people around him, right? I mean, send the man where you can if you can do it. But again, I understand it's a business and they got to get the best bang for their buck. But I'm saying Miami's number one for me. Love to see him there. Number two, I don't think Boston. I think Boston puts him right there at a contender too. No, he should not go to the West. Stay out of the West. The Wild Wild West is too hot. Go to the East. Got a better chance of making it into the NBA Finals.
Prove the truth. What do you think?
I think Dame is a perfect fit in Miami. I could see them shipping off Tyler Hero, Max Strus, and maybe some draft picks and obtaining Dame. I really want them to keep. Oh, who was it that just signed with the Lakers too? Gabe Vincent from. Yep. So that was a big shooter that they
got rid of Max Strus too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Max is out of there too. So who are they gonna put in this trade package for Dame Dollar? I mean, obviously it's got to probably be Tyler Hero, but like, who else are gonna have to add to be able to obtain Damian Lillard? I don't know. What's his name? The owner for the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, is going to figure it out. He's a smart man. He's going to know how to put a roster together. But if Dame wants to go to Miami, I think he definitely deserves that shot. He wants to be with the Eastern Conference finalists from last season, who really just didn't have enough in the tank because after Jimmy got gassed in the finals, the Nuggets were just way too much, just overpowering for the Heat. So I think adding Dame to that roster, bringing another offensive weapon, taking some heat off of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, I think that would just be a perfect setup. Just him play shooting guard, maybe have him kind of orchestrate the offense a little bit, have him run the ball down the court, play point guard for them. I like that setup. But if it's not Miami, I think it would have to be the Boston Celtics. I know the Brooklyn Nets. I saw the Utah Jazz are out there trying to have conversation. And Dame is just like, there's one team and one team only that he has his eyes set on. So I think after being in the league since he got drafted in 2012, I think, by Portland. I think he definitely deserves that shot to play with a contender. And I think if it's going to be somebody on the East where he wants to go, it's going to have to be Miami or Boston. Those two teams kind of stand out for me. Dame, you deserve it. Was I surprised he actually ended up asking for this trade? A smidge. I'm not going to lie. When my friend texted me, it was like, yo, it's official. He requested a trade. I thought he was going to shock the whole world and be like, nope, I'm sticking to my word. I'm loyal. I'm staying right here. We have an opportunity to put this team together. But he's actually officially asking for a trade. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes on that situation because it's kind of been the NBA hot topic of the last few weeks. But I don't think it's going to be something that is going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to be probably a couple days to see how this is really going to play out. But Damian Lillard is an outstanding talent. great offensive weapon. And I think Miami would really be are really deserving to have a player like him.
So a few things. I think first of all, Utah, pack it up. He's not coming to Utah. I'm sorry, like that's not gonna happen. That's a waste of time.
It was cute though, right? It was cute.
It was cute. Like if that's the case, stay in Portland. Like if you gonna do the same. I think, gosh, what is the best way to go about this? What makes the most sense is Miami, but it just depends on what Miami can offer for Dame. Like you said, like I mean, they got rid of Strus, they got rid of Game Vincent, so you would have to offer Tyler Hero. I'm assuming, I'm not sure what Miami's draft pick situation is, so that could be something to be accounted for. Maybe Portland wants some future draft picks or a couple of additions of their role players. There's still the Kyle Lowry situation. Are they gonna part ways with Kyle Lowry? Like there's so much to consider with that Miami situation. Now, if that happens to fall through, I would secondly look at Boston, because Boston offers just as good, if not better.
But would they have to get rid of Jaylen Brown?
And that's the tricky part. Do they have to get rid of Jaylen Brown in order for them to land Dame? If they're able to find a way to keep all three components of a Jason Tatum, a Jaylen Brown, and a Dame Lillard, that would be insane. Like pack it up, give Boston a championship, let everybody tie again next year. Because that's a three-headed monster that nobody's going to be able to stop. My only concern is for Boston, if that is indeed the case, who the hell going to play defense? Because you got rid of Marcus Smart, who is your top defender. I mean, he was pretty much the Draymond of the Boston Celtics. Like he was the defensive anchor. Then you have an aging Al Horford. He's not getting any, you know what I'm saying? He's not getting any younger. So, and then you also lost Grant Williams, who also was, a defensive presence for the Celtics also in as well. So it's like there's a lot of there's pros and cons for all these teams that are interested in Dame. But if I'm Damian Lillard, I'm trying to push for either Miami or for Boston. Anything else doesn't really make sense. And nobody on the West really has the room for Dame or has the money for Dame or can offer something that's going to equal to what Dame has meant to Portland over all these years. But I'm with you, Ruth. I'm glad that Dame finally put his foot down and decided to say, hey, look, this is not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and try my best and try my shot at getting a ring somewhere else, because it looks to me like Portland is trying to rebuild, and Dame ain't got time for rebuild. Like, you know what I'm saying? He, like you said, he's been in the league since 2012. Like, at this point, if he don't win in the next couple of years, he's never going to get one. So he got to do what he got to do what's best for him. So, I mean, you got to be loyal to what's loyal to you, and that's yourself. So I wish you the best of luck, Dame, but I hope he ends up in Miami. I would like to see Dame in Miami.
I think that would be a beautiful fit. I think it just makes sense. It really does. Yeah. I found out where Max Strus went. He went to join the Cleveland Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell. So
okay.
Yeah, I like that move for him.
Yeah, me too. The Cavaliers needed some shooting, so I think that's going to be a good fit for them. But
and when you made the point of like Celtics and them getting rid of all their defensive player, they went and snagged Kristaps Porzingis, who I feel like is a great defensive monster. He is so tall. The man is. Did I tell you that I met him one time? Oh my goodness! And I was wearing heels, and I still had. And I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". So with heels, I was probably wearing like 3-4 inch heels. So I was probably like around 6'1". And I still he still had like a foot. Like he's definitely a 7'3" for sure. Big dude. It's almost like, I don't know. It's kind of almost like he's like not from this world in a sense. Like how tall he is.
The unicorn. That's his nickname. The unicorn.
Exactly. And then they also got Derek White, who has been impressing everybody defensively. Him and Marcus were definitely going at it for that defensive position for the Celtics. So. I think it would have to be Boston or Miami, but I think he would look good in green. Now the more that we talk about it, I feel like it would be a nice fit. But if they would have to get rid of Jaylen Brown to do so, I don't think Celtics fans are going to be happy about that at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. And like I said, it wouldn't make sense, honestly, to just. I mean, him and Jason Tatum would be quite the tandem. I'm not doubting that those two guys together would, shake up the league. I'm just saying it would be a lot more beneficial if they had all three of them, because they all bring kind of different things to the game. Like, Dame can obviously, he can stretch the offense by being the fact that he can shoot from so far. And then you have a Jason Tatum, who's kind of a just all two-way player essentially. And then you have a Jaylen Brown, same thing. He can't dribble worth the damn, or go left, I should say. He can't go left. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's very effective on both sides of the floor as well. And then, like you said, bringing in the Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. So it's like, they have honestly a complete team. Like, they're probably just another scorer away, really, from taking that next level and being in the finals, and then being in the finals again and actually winning the finals this time around. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm definitely excited to see what happens.
Let us know in the comments, everyone. Where is Dame going? Just drop a city. I saw that John. What's up, John? How you doing? He said, wouldn't it be crazy? A sleeper team would be nice. Would be the Milwaukee Bucks. Ooh. I like that too. Him and Giannis. Did you guys see that Giannis had surgery? He had some cleanup. He had some cleanup that had to be done. His was it his right or left knee? But he'll be back. I ain't too worried about it. Just some cleanup.
He'll be fine. He's still young, so he'll be okay. So while we're at it, I know I mentioned him in when I was talking about the Celtics. Grant Williams was traded from the Boston Celtics to the Dallas Mavericks to join Kyrie Irving as well as Luka Doncic. What do we think about this new trio in Dallas now that we have Grant Williams, got Kyrie, you also got Luka, of course. Is this a good move for Dallas? Does this help some of the holes that they were having as far as last season? Obviously, the biggest criticism against them was the fact that a lot of people felt like they didn't play defense or they didn't have enough players that were dedicated to that side of the ball. So does this help? Does this hinder? Ruth, what do you think?
I love it. I think it's a great look. I think Grant Williams deserved all the coins that he received. It was a nice size bag for him to go to Dallas. I don't think it's a starting up team with Kyrie Irving, with Luka Doncic, and they have some supporting cast out there as well. So I think it was a great move for Grant Williams. I think the Celtics are definitely going to miss his presence, especially when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. But, I mean, Dallas was lacking on defense. So signing a player like Grant Williams is definitely going to tie all that together. And he's just a great veteran presence, and he's a loud one when it comes to the locker room. So I think he's going to be able to maybe keep Kyrie and Luka kind of in check, maybe bring everybody together. He's kind of like a rally dude. So I think it's a great look for the Dallas Mavericks that everybody was surprised that they didn't make it to the playoffs this last season. Absolutely. And they got a lot to prove. Kyrie has a big, boulder on his shoulders right now. And you already know that he doesn't appreciate the pressure. So bringing in a veteran presence like Grant Williams was a great look. I think Jason Kidd is going to have some success with those three individuals, especially for Dallas. So, and he looks good in the white and blue. So I'm happy for Grant. He got the bag. I'm going to look up the exact money that he got. I believe it was a 2-year deal for. I'm going to look it up real quick.
It's either 2 or 3, somewhere in there.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah,
we'll see if I'm the only one on this one, Sensei says. But why do I still feel like the Dallas Mavericks are going nowhere fast? I'm Grant. I mean, I like you as a player. I like your role that you played for the Celtics, but I see no difference. I'm like, Kyrie came in mid-season and only hurt you. How do you gain a superstar talent like Kyrie and not make the playoffs? Like, is there a discussion going on in this offseason of who's really the leader of the team? Like, hey, Kyrie's like, all right, I know this is your team. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna play my position and do my part and help us get to where we need to be. Is he about to come in, or is he about to be difficult like he always is? Dallas Mavericks, 3 years for Kyrie. Oh, he was signed an extension. No, let him go. It was a good experiment to do halfway through the season, but another 3 years with Kyrie? No. But hey, you made your bed. Now you must lie in it. Let's see what happens. That's all I gotta say.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that take, but I can't say that.
Hot take.
That I disagree though, because I honestly feel like Jay hit it spot on, nail on the head. At the end of the day, you can't get a talent like a Kyrie Irving and then go from being a good team to a terrible team. And then you pick up a Grant Williams. Now, granted, I do think that that's an upgrade for them. I do like the pickup of a Grant Williams, just because, like you said, Ruth, he is a veteran presence. He is a loud guy in the locker room. He is a guy that's going to rally the troops. But we have to remember who we're dealing with here. I love me some Kyrie as a talent. However, Kyrie hard-headed. Kyrie don't listen to nobody but Kyrie. So I don't care how much you are, how much rah-rah you are, how much, you in the locker room and you can galvanize the troops. You're going to galvanize all the troops but one. And that one troop is going to be Kyrie Irving sitting over in the corner in his knitted sweater. Like, he ain't finna, it's not going to come together the way that people think that it is. Like, Dallas is still so far away. And if I'm Dallas, I would have tried to flip Kyrie Irving personally. I would have tried to build more around.
So far away?
They're so far, because the thing of it is,
did you not see what they did to the Phoenix Suns in 2022? Like, come on, did we forget about that?
No, we did not. But here's the problem: you got two guys that their strengths and weaknesses are the same. They're both very dominant on the offensive side of the ball. They could score with the best of them. Probably two of the best scorers we have in the NBA today. However, on defense, they are cones. It just is what it is. Like, you haven't solved that, and you can't. Grant Williams is not gonna. He's not gonna fill all of those holes. Like, he's gonna be able to control what he can control, but he's not gonna be able to do it all alone. And that's
they're gonna have Grant Williams playing on the best player of the opposing, or playing defense on the best player of the opposing team every single game,
every single night. But the problem is, you still have every team in the NBA got a star, at least a star. Maybe not a superstar, but at least a star. But then they're surrounded by other role players who play their role exceptionally well. So Grant Williams can't guard all five people.
So, he could try though.
He can try, but you're gonna run ragged. By the time they get halfway through the season, he's gonna be done for it. So it's just, I don't, like I said, I like the pickup for the fact that I feel like he deserves a bag. I do think it's an upgrade from what they've had last season, because they do have at least a little defense now, but I still think they got major problems they got to fix, and I don't think Grant Williams is going to be able to fix all of those problems.
So Williams was a restricted free agent and is heading to Dallas on a 4-year deal worth $54 million. Some people in the comments are saying he is getting overpaid. Do you ladies agree with that?
For 4 years?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what was it? 4 years? How much again? Say 4 years.
4 years, $54 million.
Nah, not in today's NBA. No.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting over. I think that's a good like cap amount for like one of the top 3-and-D guys. Like, he's a 3-and-D guy, but he's one of like the top 3-and-D guys. So I don't think that's I don't think he was overpaid. Now, who I do think got overpaid, I don't know what the hell the Houston Rockets were smoking. $80 million. I'm sorry.
For who?
For Dillon Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Ico Players.
That shocked the world. You were like, wait, he didn't retire? I thought he retired.
I thought he was going to play for the Shanghai Sharks, but apparently I was wrong. Like, when I saw $80 million, I was like, who do I need to contact for my 10-day contract? Because at this point, I want to go play now.
Right.
Like, that's you were talking about overpaid. That's overpaid, because you're getting about 8 points of offense and a bunch of fouls.
Yeah, what even happened with the Memphis Grizzlies, like, specifically when it came to Dillon Brooks? Like, did they break his contract? Did they just decide not to re-sign him? I just feel like it was very abrupt, everything that unfolded when it came to Dillon Brooks and the Memphis Grizzlies, because it was almost like immediately after they got was it the Lakers I think it was the Lakers that put them away in the playoffs. It was almost like immediately. So I was like, was it just because all the hoopla around him, like poking the bear? Or were they just tired of the noise coming from Dillon Brooks because his performance wasn't up to par?
I think it was more so they were tired of the antics without producing results. See, it's one thing if you can have all of the antics and you can produce. See, people hate Draymond, but the one thing I respect about Draymond is the fact that he has a bunch of antics and shenanigans, but he produces everything that he's required to do for the Warriors. He does it at a high level. So, irregardless of what you think about him personally, about his attitude, about the way that he goes about his business, when it comes to being in between those four lines for that 48 minutes, he produces every single time. He does what he gets the rebounds, he initiates the offense, he plays defense, he does what he's supposed to do. Dylan Brooks, on the other hand, it's like you got all these antics and you're talking all this mess, but you're not producing. You can't say you poke bears and then play how he played in that series. It's one thing if you lose, okay, cool. You lost to the better team. But losing in that fashion, and then you don't play, and then you play poorly on top of losing in that fashion, they had to make a decision. And you already got to deal with NBA YoungBoy, Ja Morant. So it's like, why would we have two people with all these shenanigans and ain't nobody producing nothing? Somebody gotta go. And he's the most expendable, so at the end of the season, they pretty much let him walk.
Jay says Draymond produces chicken nuggets and technical fouls.
Hey man, but look, they like them technical fouls and them chicken nuggets. So
right, then they just extend him for like another 4 years.
4 years, $100 million.
Circling back to that, Damian Lillard wanting to go to the Warriors. That just, man, I feel like that would have just been beautiful to watch. I really would have been able to be like, yo, this dynasty is gonna stay alive for them to get somebody like. So for them to slip up and make a move on Chris Paul so early in the offseason when they should have waited to see what was happening with Dame in Portland, I mean, that's a quick flight from the Bay to over there to Portland. They could have made something happen, but we're moving on from that.
Yeah, I don't think but see, the problem with that is that it could have happened if Dame was a free agent. Dame's not a free agent. So the power is in Portland's hands. It's depending on where they feel is the best to trade him to. Like that, like he doesn't. I mean, he can say I prefer to go here, but if they're like, nah, this makes more sense for us, they can do that because they have the rights to his contract. He's not a free agent, so you know what I'm saying. He kind of has to, like I said, he can say where he want to go, but at the end of the day, they're gonna make the decision that's best for them. And him going to the Warriors ain't best for them. so that's fine.
John, appreciate the comments that are coming in. He said the Warriors would have had to get rid of Clay.
Oh, for sure. They need to get rid of him now.
I know. That's what I was about to say. I was like, I feel like
need to get rid of him now.
Kind of, you know, if an opportunity approaches, I feel like Klay Thompson would be on the chopping block to receive another NBA superstar. I think Clay would probably be the first to be on that, but I mean, that's my opinion.
I know, I agree. I definitely. I always said between the two of them, he's the most expendable just because he can still shoot. He has this like his up and down, like it's up and down, but still like he's still like if he gets hot, he's still one of the best shooters in the league. It's just it's not as much of a sure thing anymore as it once was in the past because of injury. And a lot of that what comes with shooting is that you got to use your legs. He had 2 major leg injuries towards the beginning of his 30s, so he's never quite really recovered from that, I don't think. But I mean, if you had to pick between him and Draymond, and we got an opportunity to get Dame, I'm sorry, Clay, love you my boy, but you gotta go. Like,
bye.
Appreciate you 4 rings, big dog.
Bye.
Jay wants us to talk about Phoenix. What is there to talk about Phoenix right now? They got Bradley Beal, they got KD, they got Devin Booker over there shooting with KD in the Bahamas. I mean, what's the news, Jay? Let us know. What's the news to talk about with Phoenix right now? Because that is still like a very
he's on a high right now. Y'all just gotta let Jay live.
This is
he's excited. They got rid of Chris Paul finally. They got Bradley Beal. They got obviously, like we said, KD, Devin Booker. They got a pretty good shot to make some noise in the playoffs this year, obviously. But once again, my question is to you, Jay, who's gonna play defense? Who? It's just like the Dallas Mavericks. Which one of y'all gonna play defense?
Yeah, it didn't fix their defense problem at all.
Not at all. They still have the same, and they also don't have a bench. So when they come on, when they gotta go to the bench, now you did something else.
Jay,
you done went somewhere else now. Jay, I thought we was friends.
What is he referring to? Bron killers.
He said that his team, the Phoenix Suns, are the LeBron killers all of a sudden.
Oh, all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. Again, Jay, who gonna play defense?
Nobody. We're gonna score 200. That's how they're gonna be able to win the games.
Every night.
Outscore everybody. Okay, I see.
The score gonna be 200 to 198.
Score them 200.
It's a win, right? A dub's a dub.
Yeah, a dub is a dub. So we have
win.
Since we're talking about new contracts and people going to new teams or staying with their current teams, Russell Westbrook signed a 2-year extension to stay with the Clippers. The Clippers for $8 million. I just have one thing to say before I pass it to you, ladies.
What, the clip's gonna clip?
That and so two things actually.
Two things actually. Hold on. Two things.
Clips are for sure going to clip. But I am upset that Dillon Brooks got paid more than Russell Westbrook. Y'all go ahead.
No, for real. That is an excellent point. But I think the Rockets are in that desperation mode where they're just trying to bring any big name, any media click. They're just looking for clicks right now. Honestly, that's what that Dillon Brooks payout was all about. The Clippers keeping Russell Westbrook. Am I surprised by it? Not really, just because the way that he played towards the end of the season and how he performed in the playoffs, kind of stepping up with no Kawhi. Defensively, he did some great things. He was able to make some crucial buckets late in games. And that's why I feel like they decided to bring him back for 2 years. Is he going to be able to last those 2 years? I'm not 100% confident on that. I was one of those people. I am a Clippers fan, so I was one of those people that was not excited for Russell Westbrook to join the Clippers. I really felt like he should have just stayed on the other side of the fence with the Lakers. But at the end of the day, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. I love what he brings to the floor. His little off-court antics aren't the best. He's definitely loud, but he's a great presence. And I really think that if Kawhi or Paul George are not going to be healthy, I think we could kind of lean on Russell Westbrook to bring the offense. So I'm happy about it, I guess. I'll deal. I ain't going to be bitter.
How about you, Jay?
I'm just happy to see him accept what he's worth now. I'm not mad at the $8 million. I'm really not, because, bro, you didn't hop from – hold on. You didn't hop from OKC to Houston to what? With the
Washington,
Bullets?
I think he was with Washington for a sec.
To what?
Lakers.
Lakers.
And then she said
you've
us.
been flopping all over trying to
said
find
us.
a place to fit, right? Just trying to find a place to fit. And like, can you be? You are not the Russ of old. You still
not the triple-double king.
You got 1,000% energy still, but the buckets ain't going in, bro. You shooting 20% from the field, like. But he did put in work in these playoffs. He did, and we saw it's like if he could just be consistent. But Russ is now that role guy coming off the bench. That is where you are. You were still getting paid $40 million in this last year or whatever. So hey, you made your money. Finish your career off quietly. Take your little money. Stay in LA, right? You from LA, like be home, close to your family, close to your kids, and just do what you do, bro. And just come off the bench and be. You will always have a place in my heart, Mr. Triple Double, averaging 3-4 seasons. I appreciate you and what you contributed to the game of the basketball. But now it's time for you to take your 2 years, your $8 million, and just come on off the bench, baby. That's all you gotta do. Make a few baskets.
6th man of the year. Let's go.
Still love you. There we go.
Oh my Lord. I hate this because I love Russ so much, but I have to be honest, and
I loved him I loved him when he was with OKC. After he left OKC, it just kind of like started spiraling.
Yeah, because see, the thing of it is one of my favorite abilities is accountability. And Russ lacks that and has always lacked that from the very beginning of his career. You could see that once it got to the latter part of his career, and like you said, it started to tread down, he was going to be very stubborn about it, very Carmelo-esque, not being able to accept the fact that I'm not the way I see myself is not the way everybody else sees me, and that's not translating to my game on the court. I think Russ is worth more than $8 million, but at the same time, there's no market for Russ, so he kind of had to accept that deal because where else was he going to go? Nobody wants an aging point guard who's stuck in his ways, and that's essentially what Russ is. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Now, how it pertains to the Clippers, I think he was a very bright spot for the Clippers for the simple fact that, like, I think Ruth, who was the one that alluded to it, without, Paul George and without Kawhi, he brought that toughness. He brought the fact that he was always available. He was always ready when they needed him. He brought that off the bench scoring, defense, like just the tenacity and that edge that I feel like the Clippers have been missing since they acquired Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So there's positives there, but you always have to think the thing with Russ is the positives are just as strong as the negatives, because the negatives is once he sees 2 shots going in, he's shooting the next 15. And that's the problem. That's the issue that he had with the Lakers. He hit 2 shots and then he'd be like, oh, game time. Like, I'm actually the leader of this team and I'm going to be taking the rest of the shots from here on out. And that's just he's not at that place in his career anymore. And that's just the issue that I have. And the Clippers are going to essentially have, because there's going to come a point where he becomes unplayable. So when it gets to that part, then what? Because we all saw what happened with the Lakers when the Lakers were like, we can't play you and win games. And he was sitting on the bench pouting.
I think that was just too big of a market. I think that was too big of a market for him to transition from Washington to the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, you go from OKC, you go to the Rockets, and you go to the Wizards, and then you jump into such a big team that has so much eyes, so many people. It's just, I think Los Angeles was a little bit too big for Russell Westbrook. And I think he started kind of, like, the noise just got too much for him. I think he let the outside noise and the fans and how they were speaking to him, how they were speaking about him, I think that just kind of got into his head, and we saw it unfold on the court. So I think maybe being with the Clippers, which is, still a huge market, obviously being in Los Angeles, but I think he's starting to maybe come into knowing that he's not going to be the star player and that he's just going to be a crucial player that's coming off the bench, going to be, just play your role, Russ. That's all. We don't need you to do too much. We still got our star players. We still got Kawhi. We still got Paul George. Terrence Mann is coming into his own. A lot of the players are kind of, picking up momentum. So we just need him to play a certain part, and it's not going to be the all-star of the team. We just need you to get a couple buckets, play great defense, orchestrate the offense once, when Kawhi and Paul George are taking off the court. But just know your role, Russ. Don't be doing too much. Don't be shooting shots that are just outrageous. If you're going 0 for 9, just kind of like simmer down there, buddy. That's all we need you to do.
Yeah, if you're going 0 for 9, don't try to go 0 for 12. Like, that's what we just need you to stop it at 0 for 9. Like, don't try to, But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, actually, you know what? I'm before we go to the next subject, I'm gonna ask you this, Ruth, because I heard what you were saying in your point when you were talking about you felt like the expectation, I guess, for the Lakers was too big for Russ.
Mm-hmm.
How does that translate with the Clippers for the simple fact that they now have this $1 billion stadium that they're about to play in?
With a million toilets.
Literally. And so they got this new $1 billion stadium that they're about to play in, and they have this expectation because living in California, period, you kind of hear the chatter about like what the Clippers have done the last couple of years, how they've had all these high expectations and have yet to exceed them.
Hey, we made it to a Western Conference like 2 years ago, so I mean,
and choked. But anyway,
so bad.
And clips.
Because Clippers are always gonna clip. But I'm just saying, like, what is the expectation for them now? Because we have to look at, I know there was conversations about even Paul George possibly being on the trade block or maybe looking to reconstruct Kawhi's contract. It's just because of the simple fact that they can't stay healthy. They haven't really played up together that much. And they haven't been as successful as people thought. So, like, what is the expectation, I guess, now for the Clippers with all of these things that they have going on, and on top of that, they're going into a new stadium?
In my opinion, with all that being said, with the new stadium, the way that things have fizzled out for them towards the end of the season, playoff appearances, Kawhi not being healthy, Paul George, I think it was like there was like a game that he was supposed to play, and it was like a crucial game against the Phoenix Suns, and something happened where like Paul George tested positive for like COVID like the night before. So that was just like a huge blow to the Clippers' ego. Expectations for them going into this season is they need to make it back to a Western Conference Finals for sure. Absolutely. If you're going to have those superstars with the team, I really think that, it's Western Conference Finals or bust. And that's the only way that this organization is going to be able to, I mean, $1 billion stadium, like that's a new arena is big bucks. So they got to make some crucial plays. They need to orchestrate that team perfectly for them to, Western Conference Finals is going to be their plateau for sure.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I just wanted to get your perspective on
and
that.
I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible.
Absolutely. But it's gonna be a tough out. It's gonna be a tough out because the West is the West. It's stacked, and they got to run through a lot of people in order for them to make it. But we'll see. But speaking of another contract that was signed, Derrick Rose, Chi-Town legend, Mr. Southside himself, is on the Memphis Grizzlies as well. He was another veteran pickup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Will be playing alongside Ja Morant, of course, who unfortunately Memphis will not have for the first 25 games because he wanted to be Mr. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang on Instagram Live. But what do we think that Derrick Rose's mentorship is going to mean for Ja Morant? Is he going to be able to be a veteran presence that can get through the Ja and maybe help him see things a little bit differently? Jay, what do you think? What do you think Derrick Rose's presence in Memphis is going to do for Ja?
D Rose, my guy. I was hoping you were headed back to Chicago and you just stay there and end out your career because you made Chicago fire again, hometown city. But I see that they were like, look, we need to get somebody to wrangle Ja, and maybe there's only one man for the job, and he played college ball in Memphis, so come on, D Rose, right? Best of luck to him in trying to do that. I hope he really can be that voice of reason. He can say, hey man, get your stuff together. But like, I feel like, Ja, are you ready to listen? Like, are you really done with the antics now? What is it, 52 games, whatever, right? Are you really ready to come in? Let D Rose be your big brother. Let him mentor you. Be in his footsteps. D Rose has some trouble off the court that I don't think people really before, really talked about highly. But I mean, you've seen him kind of, bounce around to these different teams and just keep the energy up, keep the momentum. Hopefully D Rose can be that big brother to Ja. I love to see it. I love D Rose, but I just don't know if Ja is going to be ready to listen. I really don't know. I don't know if he could be wrangled in. I feel like Ja has to want to do that for himself. But I think D Rose is a great addition to the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, I think, hey, while Ja is even out, like, hey, we got, we're gonna keep the ship going. And I mean, you see how they played even when Ja's out when they didn't have D Rose. So I mean, I think they're gonna be okay and can weather the storm. But D Rose, all the best of luck to you, brother. I hope you can. I hope Ja's ready to listen and he's ready to focus and he's ready to make basketball his number one priority. But
I think the biggest thing for Memphis is going to be needed
time. We'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think what's really important that Derrick Rose is going to bring to the Memphis Grizzlies is the culture change that we saw happen in New York. He was able to bring the Knicks to a playoff since for the first time since 2013, I believe. So I really think that Derrick Rose is going to have an immediate positive impact, especially with Ja Morant being out for the first 25 games. Isaiah Thomas had a lot of things to say on Twitter about the addition of Derrick Rose to the Memphis Grizzlies, talking about, Ja Morant is going to be attached to him by the hip. He's going to be an MVP conversation, which I feel like is kind of hard to believe with him being out the first 25 games. I feel like that race is just kind of going to be overtaken by the time he gets back. But I mean, who knows? I just think Derrick is a great guy for him to kind of learn from, because he's been in the NBA since 2011. He has his experience. He knows what to do. And I feel like he would be a great teacher for Ja. Now, I mean, Ja is just such a crazy big personality and entity that he's kind of set in his ways. So I feel like that's a lot of responsibility to put on Derrick Rose to kind of be training this young buck. So it will be interesting. I think Derrick Rose was just brought in to kind of change the culture of the team while Ja's away from the team for those first 25 games. So I think when Ja returns after his 25-game suspension, I think he's going to be walking into a whole different culture, a whole different setup. Dylan Brooks is obviously out of there as well, who was a really loud presence in that locker room. So I think Ja is probably going to be in for a rude awakening when he returns from his suspension. I think the culture is just going to be completely changed, and they're going to be more focused on basketball instead of the off-court antics and all the noise outside of the locker room. So I think Derrick Rose is definitely going to have his hands full. But I think if you're going to bring in a player that has that capability, Derrick Rose is definitely one who kind of jumps off the paper to me. So I'm happy for Derrick Rose. I think he's going to have some great success with the Memphis Grizzlies, especially playing alongside Ja whenever he does return.
Absolutely. I agree with both of you. I do think D Rose is a very good addition for the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think he's going to be great for the mentorship of Ja Morant just because he comes from an environment that I'm familiar with, that Jay's familiar with, and that Ja probably is familiar with in his own right. And, you see how Derrick Rose has moved throughout his career. Like, he's been very quiet, out the way. Like, he comes to work, handles his business, goes home. Like, very much a NBA veteran. So I think somebody like Ja, who is just as electric and as exciting as a young D Rose when he was coming into the league, as far as just his playmaking, his ability to score, his ability to jump out the gym, and just have an impact on the youth the same way that D Rose had it. I think that's going to be a really good example for him. I just hope that, like you guys said, that he's in the position where he's willing to listen, because you can have the greatest influence in the world around you, but if you're not willing to accept that influence that they're trying to bestow on you, like it's going to be a waste of time. Mm-hmm. So I just hope that 25 games where he's sitting out and watching the team from afar and not being able to be in the locker room and be with his guys and, compete for a championship and losing all the money that he lost. Cause I mean, he lost a lot of money by not playing those last 8 games of the season for the first incident. And then also missing the first 25 games for this incident. Like, he lost a lot of money. So I hope that I truly, genuinely hope that he's really learned his lesson, and that, like I said, D Rose can get in his ear and say, listen, I know what you got going on. I know what you're going through. I've been there. Let me show you how I did it. Maybe move like this instead of like that. Mm-hmm. And I just, like I said, if that is the case, then I think that that's going to be really positive for him. But, hey man, you gotta be willing to listen to Ja. Like, I know you young, you got all this money, you got all this access, and that's great. But you gotta listen to somebody. Everybody gotta listen to somebody. And I think D Rose would be the perfect example for that. So hopefully that works out for them. Like, I'm really rooting for the Memphis Grizzlies and for Ja. Like, I really like Ja. I just need him to get it together.
I know, right? It's so disappointing that he is in trouble for the same things. Like, it's just kind of like, come on, man. But it's almost like he's that little brother where you're still cheering him on. You want to see him be successful. But I mean, self-sabotage is a dangerous thing. And if you can't get a hold of that, it could kind of put your career in a downward spiral. So all best of luck to Ja and the Memphis Grizzlies going into a new season. A lot of big changes for that team. So let's see if the culture can be beneficial for them instead of hurting them at the end.
Absolutely. So off the NBA for a second, let's hop into some WNBA news. The WNBA season is underway. It's on fire. Everybody is playing top notch. It seems like every other day I wake up and somebody has another 40-point game. But the most consistent 40-point games going on right now goes to this woman right now that is on the screen, Breanna Stewart, a.k.a. Stewie in the New York Liberty. She just dropped 43 the other day. This is her second 40-point game of the season, I believe. And they were not too far apart. So is Vegas still the favorite, or is the New York Liberty low-key creeping up? Because the reason why I asked this is that the New York Liberty and Vegas matched up not too long ago, and Vegas put the smack down on them. Mm-hmm. But Breanna Stewart against everybody else has been dropping 30 and 40 and things of that nature. So what are our thoughts? Anybody can go.
I really love Stewie. I think she is such an incredible player, such a diverse, and she can do everything. She's a great defensive player. She can play extremely well off the pick and roll. I just think she's outstanding with ball handling as well. She's just at 6'4". This girl is she is it. She is her. So I'm really excited to see her continue to flourish in her career. I love her new position with the New York Liberty. I think her and Sabrina and Ionescu are just a great 1-2 punch. And the Liberty are just looking like they're just gathering more and more momentum. So I think towards the end of the season, we're going to see a lot more competitiveness out of the Liberty, especially when it comes to matchups like against the Las Vegas Aces. So they're definitely going to give them a run for their money. They're just going to continue to get better. And Stewie has been a big impact immediately for this team. And they're just getting started. I mean, we're at I think the halfway point, maybe.
Yeah,
we're at the halfway point of the season.
All-Star game.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for them to continue to flourish. And Breanna Stewart, congratulations for her second 40-plus point game this season. And we're probably going to continue to see more and more of that out of her for sure.
Jay Nicole.
Jay,
there?
Yes. I love what I'm seeing. Just let me say, overall, congratulations to the WNBA and just what we're doing and the product that we're putting out. Just getting better and better. But hey, go ahead, Breanna Stewart, get the second 40-point game. It got close there, with the Mercury, but y'all like, no, we're gonna come and handle business. She like, I ain't taking no prisoners. I'm gonna win it for my team. I'm gonna go ahead and get these points. So I love to see it. But yeah, I mean, they're right behind the Las Vegas Aces. I mean, so it's like, it's good to see another team creeping up, being like, hey, we right here with you. We coming for you. Don't just think y'all running away with the season because y'all got all the superstars, right? Super team. But I just love to see it. I'm just so excited. I think we're getting a taste of the WNBA that like all of you been watching it before, but I think with the growth of the women's Final Four this year and the growth, it just seems to be getting better and better. And that's so exciting to be able to see and have it watch and unfold right before our eyes. So I'm just excited, man. The level of play, the intensity in the WNBA has just got hotter and fiery and more just gritty and stuff. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, for all of our viewers that are missing hoops right now, please turn on a WNBA game because these women are really just improving their game, improving their style of play, and it's just become really entertaining. Yeah, you don't see a slam dunk 50 times a game, but I mean, there's more to basketball than just going for the slam dunks like that. So I just think the WNBA is definitely growing as an organization and as a franchise, and people just need to tune in because these women are balling.
Yes, they are hooping this year. The WNBA season has been on fire. I'm just really excited about the product that they've been putting forth. I mean, every game is competitive. It's anybody's night. But I mean, Stewie has been a bucket since UConn. If you just now are catching on, she's been doing this. Honestly, since she was in high school, but really took it to the next level at UConn, been taking it to the next level in the WNBA and Team USA. Anywhere she's playing, anytime she has the basketball in her hand, she's gonna get a bucket. You can't stop Stewie. She can do it all. She can go. She can drive in the lane. She can shoot from long distance. She has mid-range. She has turnaround. She has pull-ups. She has, like you said, defense. Everything that you could possibly imagine, Stewie has, and she's tall as hell. So it's on top of that, 6'4", you're not blocking her shot. You're not bothering her rhythm. She's gonna block your shot, and I mean, she's gonna make things difficult for you. So I think the Liberty are definitely gaining momentum. They're definitely getting more comfortable playing with each other. And trusting each other, and that's a part of the battle when you're a new team and adding such an addition like a Stewie. But I mean, listen, if their plan is to put the ball in Stewie's heads and get out the way, then that's a pretty good game plan to me. At least against most teams. Now, I still think Vegas is the favorite just because I think Vegas has more weapons than the Liberty. Because outside of Stewie and Sabrina Ionescu, they don't really have a whole lot of scoring for the Liberty, and the Aces can really stretch them out just for the simple fact that they have Asia Wilson and they have Candace Parker and they have Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray and even their bench, KB and Raquana Williams. They have so many people that can contribute and to give them offense if maybe one or two people doesn't have it that night. So I still give them the edge, but the Liberty are definitely coming. They're definitely more confident. And it's gonna be a battle. But yeah, like Rufus, you said, if you haven't been watching any WNBA basketball this season, you're definitely missing out because there's a lot of great games that have been going on.
Mm-hmm.
But ladies, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you guys want to talk about? I know somebody mentioned really quick in the comments about a lot of the ESPN firings. Any thoughts on that?
That has been the talk of the town for the last week. There were some big names thrown out there: Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, Jalen Rose, all getting let go by by ESPN. So it's just like, what is going on? Is it just like budget cuts, or did they just looking to bring on new talent, fresh faces? Not really sure, but has been surprising because some of those big names have big shows on the TV network. So I was really surprised to see that Jalen Rose got let go just because he does so much. I mean, he does the NBA commentary. He had his show going on for a while. Is there any names out there that you ladies were just like, wow, there's no way when it came to these layoffs?
Definitely Jalen Rose and Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah.
Like that kind of, and then Jeff Van Gundy, like that. Like those three to me, like even now, like saying it out loud is like, what? Like for what reason? Like ESPN makes a lot of money, so it can't be the money. Like it cannot be the money. At least in my opinion. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like those three signings definitely are not signings, but those three firings like really, really caught me off guard and really shocked me because Jalen Rose has done a lot of great work for ESPN for the past like good 6, maybe 7, 8, probably 8 years, somewhere in there. He's done a lot of great work for ESPN, especially Jeff Van Gundy. And I mean, even Keyshawn, even their show was really popular. So like, I don't know. I don't understand why that is. I don't know if they're bringing in new people, or is it a power struggle? Is it, you know, I don't know. Like it's very strange to me though, for sure.
It just lets you know, ain't nobody's job safe. But yeah, the three big ones, Max, Jalen, Keyshawn, Max. But to be honest, this might be an unpopular opinion. Max, go be a boxing announcer or whatever. I didn't love Max. I didn't love him on First Take with Stephen A. Like I'm like, I don't know, like. Like,
and he just had his own show. I think it was called This Just In.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
That wasn't the worst loss for them, even though that's a big name. Yeah. But I was like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But yeah, budget, because it just lets you know, like, ain't nobody's job safe. I mean, people are coming out saying, well, how come this person got fired and this one didn't? You know, Stephen A. came out on his show, like on his own show, like, hey, look, people's jobs, ain't nobody safe, you know? So it was kind of crazy. Nobody expected that. 20 names. Except for him, like, hey, I ain't going nowhere. But like, look, Stephen A., if you get yourself in the right type of trouble, bro, you'll never know. But it's like, okay, well.
If you keep talking disrespectful about them Dallas Cowboys, you never know. I'm just kidding. That's probably why they're keeping him around, because he's just so vocal of his dislike of the Dallas Cowboys. So it's entertaining. It brings in the clicks for sure.
Yeah, they ain't letting go of him for that. That's for sure. People listen, I look forward to hearing what he has to say after they lose. I really do, because it's always funny.
His videos of him just shaking his head.
Literally, like the skits and when he dresses up, like hilarious. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like that whole thing is, like I said, it's just very strange that they got rid of so many really big popular names. A part of me feels like it's one of those things where, how do I say this? It's like a comfortability thing. And I think that a lot of the people that they let go were challenging Stephen A. Smith in a way, or challenged him in a way. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if the people that they bring in to replace these guys are people that he has close relationships with, or people that he's fond of, or people that are going to, when he, goes on his tangents, are going to kind of buckle underneath him. Because those guys, to me, outside of Jeff Van Gundy, because he wasn't really on First Take like that, But like the Max or the Keyshawn or Jalen Rose, even like those guys, they wasn't scared of him. And like if you look at it now, like ESPN is Stephen A. Smith, like period, point blank period. He is the top commodity, top dollar. Like when you think of ESPN, you think of Stephen A. Smith. So I wonder if, I don't know, man. Like I wonder if they like he has something to do with it. Not necessarily getting people fired, but just like, is he getting more of a control type of role? Like, is he, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of politics behind this whole situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he plays a role in that. That's all that I'm saying.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this is news to me. This comment that Dylan put up where he said, "I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but I don't know how I feel about Shady joining Skip." Is that
true?
Is that who's replacing Shannon Sharp?
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna be the same because listen, I like Shady, but he ain't Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, interesting. So he's gonna go off and speak with Acho and Joy, and he's gonna go over with Skip.
I know, and I really like that.
That's not a good mix. That's
Shady,
not.
It's official.
That's not the vibe at all.
No, that's gonna be weird because that's just like bringing somebody. The generational gap between those two people are that's massive. And I don't know. I feel like I met Shady in person just a couple months ago when I went to California. I was on the bus leaving the airport to where they drop you off at like the Uber station, and Shady McCoy was sitting right across from me, and I had to get a picture with him when we got off the bus. And he actually played with Zeus for a little bit, my pit bull, which was awesome. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Shady McCoy and Skip together, but I mean, maybe it's for the clicks. I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out if that's really official. I got to look into that for sure.
I don't like that. I don't like it. I like him better with Joy, and I forgot how to say that man's name, and I'm not even going to attempt. But
there went that show.
Yeah, I like.
He's
so
good on speak though.
He fits so much better with it.
And Joy and Slick, like that's a good show. The Speak show.
Yeah, because he fits so much. Because they're all like they have their moments when they turn up or whatever, but like they're all have really chill personalities and chill vibes. They're not as animated, but it works. Like they found a balance to make that whole like kind of just copacetic, we're gonna coast through it like persona and still have fun with it.
Yeah.
Being Shady, going from that to dealing with Skip Bayless every day, like I don't know how he's gonna and like I said, I love Shady, and Shady has a lot of great opinions, but he's not Shannon Sharp. Like Shannon Sharp carried a lot of that more than most people like to admit, even Skip Bayless himself. He carried a lot of that show. A lot of what made people were drawn to that is the fact that they knew Shannon was going to give them a gem, or he was going to go off, or he was going to say something funny. He was going to bring props. He was going to he had a whole persona that he brought to Undisputed, and I just don't think Shady can match that.
And I got one thing to say about Joy Taylor, because I absolutely love Joy Taylor and I look up to her. She's one of my idols. But the other day on Speak, she said Deshaun Watson was better than Aaron Rodgers, and that's where she lost me.
What?
That's what she
love me some Joy Taylor.
She said Deshaun Watson is better than Aaron Rodgers right now in their careers. And I said, sis, what? What?
Yeah, she lost me on that.
And Shady and Acho were just like, whoa, we don't really agree with that. I mean, you're talking about back-to-back MVP, and she's like, yeah, but look at the season that he had last year. Like, what did he do? What did he do? And it's like, all right, but what did Deshaun do? What has Deshaun done in the last 3 years? Like, we don't even know what kind of football this man still has. Like, that was too far-fetched. Joy Taylor, you are so amazing at what you do, but that one comment is where you lost me for a sec, but I'm back. I still love you.
I don't know how she came to that, because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I think she dislikes Aaron Rodgers that much. You know.
I mean, Deshaun. Well, never mind. I'm not. I might have to look at that and let. We don't have to talk about that one, because girl, what?
Girl, what?
Like, I mean, Deshaun he's good at a lot of things and not so great at others. We won't go there, but he's definitely not better than Aaron Rodgers. Look, and I ain't even no Aaron Rodgers fan, but be for real. Like, let's be serious here for a second.
Yeah.
Like, nah, sis, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. But still love you, but that wasn't it.
Still love you.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to wrap up this week's show. This has been an amazing show. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to everybody that was in the comments, that gave their opinions and gave us topics that we weren't even planning on discussing, but we had to because you guys brought it to our attention. So thank you so much for your participation. We love and appreciate that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you keep following us. We will have another show next week as well. We'll decide. I'm not sure what day yet, but we'll get together and figure that out. Ladies, would you like to go ahead and shout out your social media so that the people can follow you and know where to find you, and any surprises, any news that y'all got going on, please let us know.
Yes, I have a radio show on 102.5 The Bone here in Tampa, the number one station in Florida, 12th ranked in the nation. Please give my Facebook page a follow and a like. I would really appreciate that. It's called The Moment of Truth with Ruth on Facebook. Find me on Instagram, Ruth the Truth, and I'm also on Twitter as Ruth the Truth as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of a pattern there, but follow me, I'll follow you back. And yeah, you guys were amazing today in the comments. We had over 100 comments. You guys were just real engaged in our show, and we really love and appreciate that. We had like 12 people viewing the show all at once, so the numbers are getting up there, a lot of reactions. And yeah, we just appreciate you so much, especially you, Dylan, with all the fire emojis in the comments. Yes, we appreciate you so much, Dylan. And yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, Jay Nicole, what you got? Socials.
Yeah.
Let them know where they can find
me on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Janae Nicole. But doing this show with you ladies, getting back to it, doing it every week, going hard for the sports. I love it. I love y'all. Thank you for everybody in the comments. And we do what we do.
Yes, indeed. And you can always find me on Instagram at Sensei_33, as well as on Facebook. You can find me just by my regular name, On the Trap. I'll post vlogs on both of those, so make sure you pay attention to those things. I got some vlogs coming up for y'all, so please stay tuned. On Twitter, I think I am Sensei_33 also and as well. So make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, and just keep in touch with all of us for the Sports Sensei, because we're doing some really big things. We also have a really big trip coming up that we are going to be taking as a trio, and we are going to be vlogging and letting you guys know about that as well, because it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm super excited about it. So we'll update you guys along that process as it gets closer to the time that we're going to go ahead and do that. But the Sports Sensei are going on the road. Make sure y'all pay attention and y'all follow us, because it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. But this has been a great show, guys. Thank you once again to all the fans that's been paying attention and been commenting and liking and subscribing. Make sure you keep doing that, and y'all have a great rest of y'all night. We are out of this thing. Love y'all so much. Peace out.
Pull up, popping a weed. I told the devil to not bother me. Stand on your faith, yes, you gotta believe. Broke every chain, so I gotta be free. Beat up my spirit, so I gotta eat. No, I can't keep living my life deceived. God, he told me who I'm destined to be.